Hello, Alex. Thanks for the talk earlier
Yeah,
today. I mean, you presented a bit the landscape and how
right,
you see AI and
right.
the progress.
Yeah.
Maybe for the people who were not able to attend the presentation, tell us about the two, three key highlights on these, how you see AI really impacting healthcare and where we are now making it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think AI is really has shown proof that it can transform the R&D process a bit earlier in the value chain at the level of discovering new molecules. There's really huge progress in optimizing antibodies, for instance, around biologics. So that's really going to transform the field. It's really soon going to be something that's a bit table stakes to have some of the AI and R&D process. I think for the clinical, for the development side and the clinical side, a bit more structure, norm with very specific ways to do things. And so it takes a bit more time to change things, but regulatory authorities are also issuing guidelines on how to use AI. And so that's kind of like moving people to really trust it and to use it. So I think it's going to be the next frontier and it's going to transform things as well, accelerate. Um, that being said, I think there are still a lot of challenges. And so there are some big challenges around scaling and
Mhm.
adoption and making sure that AI is not only just a small POC or a bunch of small POC, but really something transformational that moves the needle really across the value chain that has an impact on really some of the big programs, for instance, for some of the life science players. And that takes much more than just AI, much more than
Mhm.
science. It takes having the right data, it takes having the right mindset, the right people, the right organization, the right structure, and that's really where we see organizations a bit more struggling and trying to basically learn on how to use that cutting edge technology. I think if there is a limitation today, it's really not the science. It's really more how to
Mhm.
leverage the science. So I think that's also one big
Maybe
highlight.
building on your point, I mean, where I think you are saying probably technology is already there, bringing it to scale,
Yeah,
so it can really impact how we do research.
yeah.
Will still take time. How long do you think it's going to take? Because you were saying we are seeing the first AI-enabled molecule
Yeah,
out, but
yeah,
it's a small number.
right.
Probably more in 26, a little bit more in 30, but compared to all the molecules being tested in clinical trial, those being submitted. When do you think this is really going to take significant scale and proportion of the pipeline?
Yeah. I think it's always difficult to play these guesstimates, but I think overall, the next 5 to 10 years are going to be really a big moment. It's really going to become more mainstream. Talents and new people that are entering the workforce are being trained on these methodologies as part of basically their core approaches, and so it's becoming something that's constitutive of their approaches, right? So I think it takes about 5 to 10 years for a new generation to come into play
Mhm.
and then to start playing their own rules, and so I think that's going to be one big thing. I think also when a couple of these AI discovered molecules are going to really get to the end of the clinical trial is going to be something that's also going to signal to the field that we're maturing, right? But I think overall, I think it's not going to be any more about AI discovered drug or not AI discovered drug. It's just how can you make AI a constitutive technology of overall R&D, much like people are using transcriptomics and other technologies for the past 15 years to try to move the field. It's going to be another enabler,
Mhm.
right? And then maybe something else will come. For instance, one of the big next frontier that we're also looking at is quantum computing.
Yeah.
It's not mature yet. There are very little use cases of using quantum computing for actually applied drug discovery, but that's going to come, and that's a whole new horizon.
Maybe to conclude our discussion, I mean, what would be the two, three advice you would give to a startup listening to us on Tech Care Europe?
I think the first one, and I worked at a startup before working at McKinsey, so I know I had experience. I think the first one is really focusing, right?
Mhm.
And that's hard. But until you get to a clinical trial, right? Startups are encouraged to have different products and edge their bets, etc. And I think it's fine to edge your bet, but you need to know that there are two or three big things that you're counting on, and for which you're allocating really significant resources. You're putting your best people on,
Mhm.
and you're really dedicating time and really dedicating energy. So I think focusing is one thing. The second thing is failing fast and not get lost in sort of emotional decisions. In do we need to stop this program? Do we need to continue? I think when you're a startup and you have limited resources, you really need to not get stuck in like these difficult decisions sometimes. So I think being able to fail fast, take a decision quickly, and they're not always going to be perfect, but it's better than getting lost in a situation where you're trying to permanently rescue a program that actually is not going to work is another thing. And then the third thing is talents, right? I think we really underestimate how much they can make a big difference. I've seen companies rise and collapse because of 2 or 3 right people, and I think too often I see companies considering that this talent is interchangeable with this other talent, and this person seems amazing, but we can't offer this person what this person needs, or we can't set the right conditions to make it work. And it's true, when you're a startup, you have to grow and build a large team. But I've definitely seen that a few catalyzers can really make a difference. And you have to know how to leverage them, and you have to know how to then build on top of that and then build larger teams. But sometimes attracting the right people and making sure that they have a chemistry with the rest of the team is really good.
Very interesting. So focus, fail fast, and on talent. I like your perspective saying find the catalyzer and take care of them. So really interesting. Thank you very much, Alex. And I know you stay with us for the 2 days and going to help us conclude with the lessons and the call for action. So thanks for being here, and enjoy the 2 days together. Actually, looking forward to discuss more.
Okay, thank you very much.